Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Zoe. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I really do hope that you decide to subscribe, and if you're a current subscriber, please make sure that your bell is on, as YouTube doesn't like suggesting the kind of content I like to make. Now we've got that out of the way, I just want to address how I look. My hair is a state. I'm in my pyjamas at like 3 PM, nearly 4 PM in the afternoon. But today we have had a weather warning of really bad winds. It is freezing. It has literally gone from feeling like the middle of summer to literally autumn in a day here. I'm like in the north of England and we've got massive weather warnings at the moment. They've even put weather warnings out for tornadoes, which is something the UK doesn't get. So it's quite a drastic change in weather, and I'm having one of them days where I feel like I cannot do my hair, I can't get dressed, I just want to be comfortable, I just want to be all cozy. So that is why I look like I do today. So today we are doing part 2 of my mini Storytime series. If you're not aware and you are new just clicking on this video, I have started a series on my channel where I'll be talking about finding out I was pregnant, my whole pregnancy journey. So if you've missed the first video, I will leave that in the card above and also in the description box below, so you can go and check out part 1 before we start today's video. But without further ado, let's get into today's story time. So in the last video I covered that I found out I was 1, pregnant, I had my first doctor's appointment and I got my green notes. So today I'm going to carry on from that point. So like I said, if you've not seen it, go and watch that video first, otherwise you will not know what's happening. So we had our first doctor's appointment and everything went brilliantly. Now between this time and the first scan, which is what you get when you're around 12 weeks pregnant here in the UK, they don't usually scan you beforehand unless you've had issues with previous pregnancies and stuff. So I had to wait till 12 weeks to get a scan, and of course I was waiting till 12 weeks before I told my family, only because I had a previous pregnancy that ended in a miscarriage and I didn't want to put my family through that once again. So I was making sure that I waited until 12 weeks. During this time between finding out and 12 weeks, you have various doctor's appointments with midwives just to check that everything is above board and going in the right direction. My blood tests were coming back absolutely fantastically. Everything was going really well and I was super excited for my 12-week scan. This 12 weeks felt like the longest 12 weeks for me because of what I had been through previously. I was so worried that something was going to go wrong. I was overly cautious, thinking that something was going to happen, and I was so nervous to have that scan. Now during my 12 weeks I didn't have any real symptoms apart from morning sickness, and every time I have been pregnant I've had morning sickness, and I don't mean just being sick once or twice a day. I could not physically eat. Even in them first 3 months I lost literally half of my weight when really I should have been putting weight on. I was sick constantly from the second I woke up to the second I fell asleep, and I was even struggling to sleep because I felt so ill. At some points in the pregnancy this really drastically affected me, which I will talk about in later videos, but that was the one major symptom that I had all throughout the 12 weeks. If I'm honest, it lasted till the very day that I give birth. So the day came for my 12-week scan and I remember being so nervous. I was a nervous wreck. They were telling me I had to drink lots of water, but I couldn't drink lots of water because I felt like I was going to be sick. So I was so worried that they were not going to be able to see anything on the ultrasound. But these guys who do the ultrasounds are really good and can find things like that, and they've got ways around that. But I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to see anything on the scan. So I went to the hospital and arrived at my appointment. I went into the room and I remember my palms were like itchy and sweaty and I was literally scared for my life. But the second she put the little probe thing on my tummy, instantly it was there on the screen and we could see our little baby. The next thing that worried me was the heartbeat, but you could clearly see his little heart or its little heart, because we didn't know what it was at this point, beating away, and he was moving, and it was just the best feeling ever to see that on the screen. And it was really nice to have Dave at that appointment as well, because that was something he had never seen before. So I really treasured that first scan, and I remember getting my pictures, and I could not stop looking at these pictures, and to this day I have these pictures like in frames. I keep them because it's a memory that made me feel really, really good, and I remember how I felt in that moment seeing my child. I swear I probably cried a couple of times afterwards as well. It was honestly one of the best feelings in the world to see him on that scan for the first time, and that just put loads of faith inside of me. I could finally enjoy the pregnancy, knowing that baby was safe. It was an amazing day, and I will never forget that day ever. So now that I had the scan, it was time for me to tell people what's been going on. A few people were guessing and thinking that I might have been pregnant, but they hadn't said anything to me. So a few people had like some sort of intuition and knew, especially my sister. She says she overheard me and Dave talking about our baby in the shed outside, because back then we had a shed in the garden, which we had a TV and a sofa and stuff, and we used to chill in there. And she apparently overheard me and Dave talking, so knew. And later we went on a holiday. This was before I told my mum. This was when I'd just had my 12-week scan, and she was talking to me about it and was like, why are you not drinking? You know, that's another big factor. We were going on this holiday for a week, which we had pre-booked, just to have a week of drinking, chilling, loving life, and I wasn't drinking, so of course I had to tell her, and it just confirmed what she had in her mind. She was so excited, and to this day she's been excited about Dominic. Like, they're like two peas in a pod. You could not separate them two people. It is crazy. But from the second she found out, she was over the moon and so excited to finally be an auntie. The next people that I decided to tell was my mum and my sister. So we were going up to my mum's house because it was her birthday. We had bought her birthday cards and presents, whatnot, and I decided to put the picture of the scan, because I had 2 copies and I was going to let her keep one. I put that in the birthday card so she could open it and see the scan. And as she's unravelling the card, I said to her, I said, oh, me and Dave's got something to tell you. And she went, are you pregnant? I literally looked her dead in the eye, and she continued to open the card, and out fell the scan. And she was like, I knew it, I knew that there was something weird about you both coming up here, because usually Dave will be at work and whatnot. And she was really, really happy. She was asking lots of questions. She's like, when are you due? Like, are you going to find out the set? She was really intrigued and excited from the start. My sister also found out on that day. This was really special to me because the one person I wanted to know right away was my nan as well, because my nan always wanted one of her grandchildren to have children. So my mum called my nan and said, Zoe's pregnant, she's having a baby, she's shown me the scan picture, and my nan was absolutely over the moon, and she was totally just obsessed with Dominic when he was in my tummy and even when he was born. And it was a really special moment for her to find out. Obviously at the time I wasn't able to get to her house and surprise her, but we did manage to surprise her later on with the gender, which I will tell you more about later. So the next lot of people that we decided to tell was Dave's mum, and we actually sent her a message with the scan picture and said, you're going to be a nan again, but she did not read the message, and we was like, brilliant. So a couple of days went by and she rang Dave all normal and was like, hey, like she would normally do, and he said, have you seen the picture, have you seen the message I've sent you? And she's like, I'm not sure how to work Facebook, I'm not really clued up on all that stuff. So he then told her over the phone and said, we're having a baby. She again was really excited because it was another grandchild into the mix. Brilliant. So she was really excited because it was another grandchild in the mix. weeks, and she just loved it. She loved it. And the next thing that I did was I posted on my social medias the pictures of the scans and the tests and whatnot, and announced our pregnancy. And everybody who is like mutual friends with me and Dave were really over the moon for us, congratulating us, and it felt really nice to actually be in that position myself, because you see people announcing their pregnancies on social media and it's so nice to be able to be like, oh my god, congratulations, you're going to do an amazing job. And it's nice that I got that as well. I really enjoyed, not that I enjoyed the attention, but I enjoyed having that moment, because it was a really kind of special moment to me. And all these moments that I'm going to talk about in these upcoming videos are all going to be special moments to me, and I think about them all the time. They make me really, really happy. The wind is horrendous here today. So now that we had told everyone and we felt like this secret was lifted off our shoulders, I really truly finally felt like that I could live my best pregnant life and get this baby to the world safely. And my cravings after 12 weeks started to go absolutely crazy. I was craving pickled onion crisps and bubblegum ice cream, but not separately. I liked to get these together. That sounds so bad. I like to scoop the ice cream up with a crisp and eat it. Disgraceful, I know, but that was one of my major cravings. And of course the sickness carried on throughout the next couple of weeks. Things were moving slowly. I didn't really have a bump at this point. I don't remember seeing my bump until at least my 20-week scan. Around the 20th week is when my bump finally came in, and I was living my best bump life. Honestly, I loved my bump and I loved seeing it in pictures and stuff. I think that I just looked good with a bump. I'm going to show some pictures on screen somewhere right now, but I think I just looked good with a bump. I proper feel like I was at my most confident that I've ever been when I was actually pregnant. I don't know if it's because I lost weight due to being sick. By 20 weeks they said I had lost something like 2 or 3 stone, which is not healthy at all, because I physically could not hold anything down. I was on 3 or 4 types of anti-sickness. I was constantly going into the doctors and stuff, being evaluated to see if I needed hospital admission for fluids, etc, etc, because I was really, really poorly with sickness. And that is one thing I hope for the next time I have a child. As much as I'm grateful for them symptoms, because it means that something is hopefully growing and it's a normal part of pregnancy, I really hope that I don't have them symptoms, only because it really made me poorly. And I enjoy food too much not to eat food, and that's the one thing that the sickness stopped, was me enjoying my most favourite foods. And because some of them foods made me sick during pregnancy, I can't still eat them today, and I am gutted. The one thing that made me sick was chicken and garlic, and before I was pregnant I could eat garlic with anything. I loved garlic, like the flavouring, garlic sauce, garlic butter, everything. I loved it. And then the minute I was pregnant I could no longer eat it, and even now I can't eat anything with garlic in. Same with chicken. I was really awkward with the chicken, because when you're pregnant you can only have certain things and your chicken has got to be cooked properly and whatnot, and I was always so paranoid that my chicken wasn't cooked and I was going to make myself sick. Even on some occasions, properly cooked chicken still made me sick, and I totally went off it during pregnancy. And even now I struggle to eat chicken unless it's processed chicken, which is really bad, like your nuggets that you get from McDonald's or your KFC. I can eat them sort of things, but I can't have a chicken fillet, cook it the proper meat and eat it, because it just takes me back to how I felt whilst I was pregnant, which I was really, really sad about, because I love my food. So the next step in my pregnancy was my 20-week scan. And I'm not going to say any more about the 20-week scan in this video. I am going to talk about it in the next video, because it's a mini series and we are going to spread this out a little bit. So if you want to know more about my 20-week scan, finding out the gender, how I told my family and surprised them with the gender, you will just have to tune in next Saturday for the next video. And yeah, so that is today's story. I hope it wasn't too confusing. There's not too many big milestones happening in the first trimester of pregnancy apart from telling your family, whereas it does get a lot more eventful the more pregnant that I got. So please stay tuned. If you did enjoy this video, leave me a comment down below telling me what your favourite part of the video was. If you've been a part of this channel for a while, you know that we comment the word of the day down below if you have managed to stick around till the end of the video, and that word is mouse. Also, I'm going to ask again, do you like this background? Do we prefer this? Is this better than just a plain white wall, or do you prefer just a plain white wall? Let me know down below, because every little helps. Your comments and critiques mean the most to me, so let me know. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye.